Hello to everyone watching this video. This is Eddie. Welcome you to the Hands Fashion Academy, an online school where confidence is built. Today we want to take you on how to take a proper male's measurement. But there are a few points I would like you to note while you watch this video. I'd like you to understand that this measurement is a comprehensive measurement that is taken once and for all. You don't need to call your client back to come and take measurement for whichever style you want to sew. As you take this measurement, as long as you have this measurement, whichever style, whichever fitting, whatever you want to sew for the person or you want to send it to another person, that measurement serves it once and for all. The only reason why you would need to take this measurement again is except the client loses weight or adds. Those are the only time when you can call the person back to change the measurement. If not, this one is okay for whatever you want to do, whichever cloth you want to sew is the perfect thing for either the male or female. You also need to note that this system of taking measurement works better for pattern drafters. It will also work well for freehand tailors, but before you do that, you also need to know how to use the ease allowance charts. If you need to get that, if you don't know anything about that, you can send us a message. We will send you the ease allowance. This system of taking measurements could look awkward to some persons, mostly the freehand tailors in Africa and some other parts of the world that do freehand. Because usually when your clients come for measurement before, they wear any type of clothes and you take the measurement like that. But now you're trying to work to suit industrial standard and they have to wear close-fitted clothes. So parts of their body will be exposed. But with proper education and letting them understand that this is how a proper measurement is supposed to be taken, they will get used to it. Because the clothes they have to wear are clothes that have zero ease. Zero ease clothes are like singlet leggings, clothes that fit close to the body properly, that when you measure, it's not going to add any, because the measurement you're taking is the measurement that is supposed to be the figure, the person's body measurement without any allowance being added to it. But you will see more of that when you watch the proper video that we are going to show to you next. So happy viewing and enjoy watching. But whatever challenges you have or you have questions to ask, you could send us a message and we'll happily do you a reply. Thank you. The height measurement. You have to ask your client to stand on the stadiometer and ask the person to stand straight. You bring the slider directly on top of the person's head. Don't allow the person to bend. The person is not seeing himself or herself, so you're the person that will look at the person and ask the person to stay well. Straighten the person well. Let the person stay very straight. You can take the slider up, return it back to the person's head. Let it stay very well so that you can get the perfect height of the person. Then you read your measurement on the stadiometer and say whatever it is. You can convert it if it is in cm or meters or whatever it is. You can do the conversion. Thank you. The head circumference. So to take the head circumference, the person will also continue to stand straight. You take your tape round the person's head. It has to be on the fullest part of the person's head, across the forehead. Keep your hand straight. No part of the tape should bend. Your finger should not also be at the back of the tape. If it cannot stay, you just put the tip of your finger, but it should not enter fully. Then you take your measurement. That measurement, you either in cm or inches, whatever you want to do, it's better for you. The neck circumference. While taking the neck circumference, you take it on the base of the person's neck. Don't allow it to go up because that's where the cloth will rest. So you must make sure it's at the base of the person's neck. That is the most important thing. Then take your measurement. the shoulder width. You need to find the shoulder bone. That is the very important thing you need to get. Raise the person's hand to find it. If you place your hand on the person's shoulder, you should be able to feel the shoulder bone. Then place your tip at the beginning, the tip of the shoulder bone, across to the other side of the shoulder bone. You will not take it straight on the person's back. You take it across the neck to the other side of the shoulder bone, exactly what I'm doing in the video. Then you read your measurement. Across back, you put your tape at the tip of the armpits. Take it across the shoulder blade to the other tip of the armpits. Make sure it's straight. Then you take your measurement. It can be taken in inches. It can be taken in centimeter. Whichever you want is fine, but it has to be from one tip of the armpit to the other tip of the armpit across the shoulder blade. The chest circumference. You need to ask the person to raise the arms and take your tape around the person's chest circumference. But before you take that measurement, you place your tape on the person's body. Make sure your finger is not in between the tape and allow the person to drop his arms or her arms so that the tape will relax. See what I'm just about to do? The tape will move a little. Exactly. Then you place the tape on the person's chest. But because of the pressure, the tape might slip. So you just use the tip of your finger to hold the tape firmly. Don't allow the full finger to go. If not, it will add to the measurement. That tip of your finger is okay. And the tape has to stay straight at the back. Don't allow it to be below where you're seeing it now, so that it will give you a perfect measurement. Across chests. To take the across chest measurement, you need to put your tape at the tip of the person's armpit across the chest, as the name implies, to the other side of the tip of the person's armpit. Then you can take your reading. The tape has to stay straight from one tip of the armpit to the other tip across the chest, and you can take your reading. Even it can be read in centimeter or in inches. Upper waist circumference or the waist circumference. There are two ways of locating the position of the waist. You can slide your hands at the back of the person to find the middle of the arc, exactly what I did. Or you ask the person to raise one arm up and ask the person to bend slightly. A fold will form on the waist of the person. At that position, you can tie your string. When you tie the first knot, you ask the person to help you place his finger on it. Knot it again, so it will be firm on the person. And after tying it, it might not be straight yet. You go around the person, check it, and make sure it's properly straight. Straighten it, straighten the person's cloth if that will affect it in a way. Make sure it's very straight. This string is very important for you to tie, because at this position, apart from taking the upper waist measurement or the waist circumference, there are other measurements you're going to take at this position. So that's why it is important. So after tying the string, you cannot take your measurement just like I'm doing in the video. Make sure the tape is very straight. Take your measurement and make sure your finger is not in between the tape. But because of the pressure on the person's body, you can just put the tip of your finger at the back and take your measurement. the lower waist circumference. You take the tape around the person's lower waist, just like I'm doing in the video, and that is going to be above the hip and below the lower abdomen. Don't allow your finger to be at the back of the tape, but because of the pressure, you could just use the tip of your finger to hold the tape so it will not give way, and you take your measurement. Front waist length. This measurement is taken from the upper part of the shoulder, close to the neck. You take a measurement from that point down to where the string is tied. That place where the string is tied is called the upper waist circumference or the waist circumference. To learn how to tie that string, you might need to watch our video on how to measure the upper waist circumference or the waist circumference. Back waist length. This measurement is taken from the upper part of the shoulder, close to the neck at the back of the person, down to where the string is tied, which is the waist circumference level. Neck to waist. This measurement is taken from the center of the person's neck at the back, where you feel the first bone, down to where the string is tied, which is the upper waist circumference level or the waist circumference level. Then you take your measurements. Center front length. This measurement is taken in front of the person at the base of the neck from the center down to where the string is tied, which is the waist circumference level. You make sure your tape is straight. Then you take your measurements. Top length. This measurement is taken from the upper part of the person's shoulder, close to the neck, in front of the person, down to the desired length, depending on how long or short the person wants the top. The hip circumference. You take the tape around the person's hip at the fullest part of the hip. It shouldn't go below or above. It must be at the fullest part of the person's buttocks. Carefully keep your tape straight. Look at it. If you're not sure, make sure it's there. Then you take your reading. Hip depth. This is the measurement you take from your waistline where the string is tied down to the fullest part of the hip. Though you're going to gauge the fullest part of the hip from the back of the person. Some designers take from the back, but you could do from the side just like I'm doing, because I'm comfortable with doing it from the side, and you take your reading. Lower hip depth. This measurement is taken 2 or 3 inches below the waistline down to the fullest part of the hip. That 2 or 3 inches is supposed to be at the position where the person wears his trouser. You place your tape from the string, take your 2 or 3 inches away from it, below it, and get it at the fullest part of the hip. Looking at the fullest part of the hip from the back, and you take your measurement. Sideways to knee. This measurement is taken from the string at the waistline straight down to the knee of the person. It's a straightforward measurement that you just measure from the waistline where you tie your string down to the knee, and you take your measurement. Lower side waist to knee. This measurement is taken 2 or 3 inches below your waistline where the string is tied, straight down to the person's knee, and you take your reading. It's just 2 inches or 3, depending on where the person used to wear his trouser, down to the knee. That's your lower waist to knee measurement. Sideways to calf. This measurement is taken from the waistline straight down to the calf region by the side of your leg. The tape has to be straight, exactly where the string is tied. You take it straight down to the calf region, then you take your reading. Lower sideways to calf. This measurement is taken 2 or 3 inches below the waistline where the string is tied, straight down to the calf region. You place your tape, you measure 2 or 3, you take it straight down to the calf, and you take your reading. Sideways to ankle. This measurement is taken from your waistline where your string is tied down to the ankle. You can also break the measurement depending on the height of the person, so it's easier for you to measure, just like I did in the video, not to stretch your arms too wide. Lower sideways to ankle. This measurement is taken 2 or 3 inches below your waistline down to the ankle. To make it easier, you can also break the measurements. If the person is a little tall, you take the first one, leave the tape, place your finger on the tape again, and you take it down to the ankle. Sideways to floor. This measurement is taken from your waistline straight down to the floor. Make sure the tape is straight, and the person must not be wearing any footwear. You take it from your waistline where the string is tied straight down to the floor. Then you take your measurement. Lower sideways to floor. This measurement is taken 2 or 3 inches below the waistline where the string is tied down to the floor. If stretching your hand too wide will be difficult, just do what I did. I broke the tape, used my finger to press it on his knee. Then I drag the tape down to the floor and I take the measurements. Just like what I want to do, just for you to understand it the second time. 2 or 3 inches to get the waist. Take it down, break it down to the floor. The inseam. This measurement is taken from below the crotch down to the floor. Not to stretch your arms too wide, you could just break the measurement just like I'm doing in the video. You can measure from the inseam, from below the crotch, use another finger to hold it at the knee, then you take it to the floor just like I'm doing in the second video. Then you take your measurement. Crotch length. This measurement is taken underneath the crotch. From the waistline at the back, you place your tape in the middle of the waistline at the back, underneath the crotch to the middle of the waistline in front. Just like I'm doing now at the back. You see what I'm doing? You take it from the back, pass it like that to the front. Then you take your measurement. Lower crotch length. This measurement is taken 2 inches or 3 inches below the waistline in both the front and the back. You can use your chalk to mark the point so it doesn't confuse you. After marking it, you place your tape at the point of the mark in the middle. You can take it from the back or the front. From that, your chalk line point, take it underneath the crotch from the front or from the back to the front and vice versa. Then you take your measurement. Just an example to be clear, what is happening in the second clip is exactly what you need to do. Then you take your reading. Crotch depth. This measurement is taken from the waistline where the string is tied to a flat surface. You need to ask your client to sit on a flat surface for you to take this measurement. Then from where you tie the string, you take it to that flat surface. That forms the crush depth. Lower crush depth. This measurement is taken 2 or 3 inches below the waistline down to a flat surface, just like I'm doing in the video. You have to ask your client to sit on a flat surface. Then you take your measurement from that 2 inches or 3 inches position down to the flat surface. Just like I'm doing again. That's about 3, because that's where the trouser will stay. Down to the flat surface, then you take your reading. Thigh circumference. This measurement is taken round the thigh, close to the crotch, the fullest part of your thigh. Your finger should not be behind the tip. It should be, you can just use the tip of your finger to hold it. Then you take your reading. The knee circumference. This measurement is taken round the knee. You must make sure while taking this measurement, your finger is not behind the tip. But you could use the tip of your finger to hold the tape so it will not slip off. Then you take your measurement. Calf circumference. This measurement is taken around the fullest part of the calf. Just make sure your finger is not behind the tape. You can place the tape on each other, and you use the finger or you use the tip of your finger to hold it, and you take your reading. Ankle circumference. This measurement is taken in 2 ways, and both has to be written down. You take the measurement around the ankle, and you take that your reading. You also ask the client to tiptoe. You also take the measurement around the ankle, behind the heel, and you take your reading. Sleeve length. This measurement is taken from the tip of the shoulder bone down to the wrist. To take this measurement, you have to ask your client to stand arms akimbo, though not too high. Then place the tape at the tip of the shoulder bone, across the elbow, down to the wrist. Then you take your measurement. Three-quarter sleeve length. This measurement is taken from the tip of the shoulder bone across the elbow down to the midpoint between the elbow and the wrist. Just like I'm doing in the second video, you find the tip of the shoulder bone, take it across the elbow down to the midpoint between the ribs and the elbow. Elbow length. This measurement is taken from the tip of the shoulder bone, with the person still keeping his arms slightly akimbo, to the elbow. You place a tape at the tip of the shoulder bone and drag the tape to the elbow. Then you take a measurement. Short sleeve length. This measurement is taken from the tip of the shoulder bone down to the desired length of the short sleeve. There is no fixed position, but it should not be up to the elbow. Then you take your measurement. Bicep circumference. To take this measurement, you ask the person to raise his arm up. Then you pass the tape around the person's biceps and ask the person to keep his arm down. Place your tape properly with the person's arm down now. Then you take the tape around the person's biceps and take your measurements. Above elbow circumference, which some tailors and designers call round sleeve measurement, is the measurement around the circumference where the short sleeve length will stop. Wherever is the desired length of the short sleeve, that's the measurement around that place. Then you take your reading. Three-quarter sleeve circumference. This is the measurement around the three-quarter sleeve position, just below the elbow, as shown in the video. Then you take your measurement. Wrist circumference. This measurement has to be taken in two ways and both has to be written down. You take your tape around the person's wrist. Remember that your finger is not behind the tape, and you write it down. You also ask the client to spread the palm. Take the tape around the person's fullest part of the palm and you write down the measurement as shown in the video. Armhole circumference. This measurement is taken underneath the armpit, with the person raising up his arm and dropping it back after the tape has gone round, across the shoulder bone, as shown in the video. Let your finger not be behind the tape. You should just use your finger to press it. Then you take your measurement. Kaftan length. This measurement is taken from the top of the shoulder by the neck down to the floor. Because of the height of the person, you might not be able to stretch your arms wide enough to get to the floor, so you will need to break the measurement as shown in the video. Then you take your measurement.